And welcome, sports fans, to today's roundtable. And we're coming off the holiday season, getting back into the regular routine now that the Christmas tournaments have been concluded. And we've got some games to report on from the past few nights, which we'll get to in just a moment. And we'll also have an interview later on with Seth McBroom. We had that a few days ago on the Sports Zone. And Seth is the Holcomb basketball coach, talking about the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament victory that the Holcomb Hornets got in this year's Bloomfield Christmas Tournament over the Kennett Indians, and what a run for the Holcomb Hornets through that tournament. We'll have that discussion up here momentarily, so stick around for that as well. And we've got updated sports rankings for girls and boys high school basketball here in Southeast Missouri, the CMO 25 for the boys and the CMO Top 10 for the girls that we're throwing out for this week for the first time, as well as updated state rankings for the state of Missouri. So we'll have that a little later on as well. So glad you joined us. We're back into the regular routine. We haven't had a roundtable in a couple of weeks due to that Christmas tournament airing over the holiday season last week, so we're back to our regular schedule now, so be sure to tune in each Saturday live at 10 a.m., and we'll be here for you here at Channel 21 as well as online at cmosportzone.com. And let's go ahead and move on to some scores from last night, and we'll start off with the game that we had that we will have. We didn't have it live last night, but we'll be having replayed here on Channel 21 and uploaded on CMO Sports Zone later on today, and it's Clarkton versus Malden, and Clarkton come away with that victory 68-57. Clarkton comes away with this Dunklin County matchup, and an impressive showing by the Clarkton Reindeer last night. They got off to a tougher start to this season, but they've got some momentum here of late, and they had an impressive showing against the Malden Green Wave last night, and a nice showing by Entron Jones for the Reindeer. I think he had upwards to 28 points, 27 points in that game. Had, I think, 6 or 7 three-pointers, and had, I think, 5 in the first half. A nice shooting performance by him. And Clarkton Reindeer has some size down low with Trey Moore and Tyler Jones. Got a strong front court with those guys, and they're a pretty solid ball club this year. It's the first time we've seen Clarkton this year, and we'll look forward to having them later on in the season as well. So a nice game there last night between Clarkton and Malden. Catch that today, Saturday at noon and 6:30, playing throughout the weekend here on YHC. And to other games last night, Bloomfield took on East Prairie, defeated them 54-42. Also, we have Twin Rivers over Doniphan out west. Twin Rivers winning 55-49. Also, Holcomb over Campbell, 60-35. Zenith Hornersville over Southland, 97-31. Big win for the Zenith Hornersville Lions. This is one team that's going to be coming along as the season progresses. They play out of that Boot Hill Conference, but probably flying under the radar at this point, but they're getting stronger as the year goes on. Definitely want to see how the Lions end up this year and their high school basketball season. And also South Iron defeated Van Buren 74-44. Scott City over Champion overtime 73-67. Also, we've got Richland over Bell City 83-55 in the Stoddard County. Also, Dexter over Woodland 64-23. Oran over Saxony Lutheran 68-50. Crothersville defeating Portageville in that Boot Hill Conference 80-64. And Leopold getting a big win over Risco 87-39. That's one team to look out for in Class 1 this year is Leopold. They've got a strong team coming back, and they're sure going to make a run to make it up to Columbia in Class 1 this year. Also, we've got Bernie over Advance, 69-66, and that was from Thursday night, and what a finish to that game. I believe it was Advance tying the game up with a three-pointer with 0.4 seconds remaining and an inbound to Sam Turner from three-quarters court, probably even more than that. Just slung the ball up from three-quarters court with 0.4 seconds remaining and nailed the 65-footer. And Bernie pulls out the win in the Stoddard County Conference, and what a win. The Bernie Mules come away with a dramatic win with that long attempt by Sam Turner, and they get a victory over the Advance Hornets, and probably at this point they're probably in the driver's seat to obtain the #1 seed in that Stoddard County Conference tournament later on this year with that win over Advance. Right now those two teams are probably at the top of that Stoddard County Conference. So a big win for the Bernie Mules on the road in Advance Thursday night. And in girls games from Thursday night, we had here on YHC Dexter and Farmington, and Dexter handily won that game 88-36. And Dexter, the first time we've had Dexter on for the girls this year, and boy, they were strong in all facets of the game. Shot the ball from the three-point arc very well, had a nice inside presence, played great defensively. They're looking really good, and they've got a game today against Webster Groves up in St. Louis. They got a tough test against Webster Groves today, so we'll be looking forward to seeing how the Dexter Lady Bearcats fare today against Webster Groves. And other girls action from Thursday night, Poplar Bluff defeated Cape Central 52-20. Sykeston over Chaffee 60-42. And those are the games from the last few days here in southeast Missouri. So getting back into the routine now, your typical Tuesday and Friday nights for the boys, Monday and Thursday for the girls. And we're set to hit probably a third of the way through the season now. Still got quite a bit of season left through January and February. It seems like after these Christmas tournaments, after all these games, seems like the season's almost over, but it's not the case. We've got pretty much 2 full months to go here in January and February. We'll bring you all the results and focus here on YHC Channel 21 as well as SEMOsportzone.com. So be sure to stay tuned. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back with some rankings from SEMOsportzone.com, the SEMO 25 for the boys, and the SEMO Top 10 for the girls, as well as the updated state rankings for this week. We'll be back with those coming up.
With an interactive home security system from New Wave, your family comes home to peace of mind. Now we bring you the future of home security. Arm and disarm your system remotely from your office computer or iPhone. Even look in on family or pets with live video from inside your home. In an emergency, our 24/7 alarm monitoring responds with the help you need. Peace of mind wherever you are. Now available from New Wave Communications.
At Glenn St. Kennett, we have a lot full of inventory and the best rebates of the year. I'm Danny Ford, owner of Glenn St. We just want the opportunity to talk to you about your next car or truck. The rebates are the best of the year and interest rates the lowest to work with. It's a great time to buy, and our people are excited to help you make the right choice. We realize you have a lot of dealers to choose from, but I can assure you no one appreciates your business like we do. Glenn St. and Kennett, and God bless our troops.
When I was a kid, we didn't have all these wireless devices. We only had one computer plugged into the wall, and we were grateful.
Technology changes fast. Stay ahead with blazing fast internet speeds from New Wave Communications. New Wave delivers the internet with incredible speeds, up to 50 megabits per second. Pick the package that's right for you. New Wave, the area's fastest internet, period.
Kids today don't know how good they have it.
Let's talk about next year. This is the time of year to reflect on last season's crop and make decisions for next season. What mix of crops should you plant? Should you buy new equipment this year or get by another year with what you have? We'd like to help you make the financial side of your planning a little easier. Our ag department knows agriculture, and they're local.
Stop by and see us
at First Midwest Bank.
And now we'll take a look at some updated rankings from SEMOsportzone.com and the SEMO 25 poll for the boys. So we'll take a look at that now. And leading off there at the top 2 slots, no surprise there, Sykeston at number 1, Charleston at number 2. 3, Poplar Bluff moving up from 7. 4, Cape Central moving up from 6. 5, Holcomb, moving all the way up from 18, coming off that Bloomfield Christmas Tournament title, moved all the way up to the top 5. 6, Bernie, up from 4. 7, Hayti, up from 5, or down from 5, excuse me. 8, Jackson, and they're up from 13. 9, Notre Dame, up from 15. 10, Oran, up from 19. Kennett is down from number 3 all the way to number 11. They suffered a few losses here in the last week, and they move out of the top 10 to number 11, down from number 3. 12, Clearwater, that's up from 14. 13, Nevada County Central, up from 17. 14, Advance, down from 11. 15, Leopold, down from 8. 16, South Pemiscot, which was unranked last week. 17, Park Hills Central, which is unranked. 18, Crothersville, down from 10. 19, Twin Rivers, down from 16. 20, St. Vincent, up from 21, just up one ranking there. And 21, Oak Ridge, which is up from 25. Bloomfield at 22, which was unranked in the last poll. 23, Scott County Central, down from 12. They've suffered a few losses here in the past few weeks, so they moved down a bit to 23. 24, Portageville, down from 20. And 25th, Doniphan, which was unranked in the last poll. And on the bubble, St. Genevieve, Scott City, Malden, Risco, Neelyville, Chaffee, and Van Buren. And that's your SEMO 25 poll from SEMOSportsZone.com. And we'll issue another poll each week from that SEMOSportsZone.com SEMO 25. That's the top 25 teams in southeast Missouri. And we'll take a look at the SEMO top 10 poll for the girls here in southeast Missouri. This is the first one we've issued. And Dexter, runaway number 1, clearly the top team in southeast Missouri this year so far. And 2, Saxony Lutheran. 3, Notre Dame. 4, Jackson. 5, Clearwater. 6, Neelyville. 7, Nevada County Central. 8, Poplar Bluff. 9, Cape Central. And 10, Woodland. And those are your SEMO top 10 girls poll from SEMOSportsZone.com. And let's take a look at the updated state rankings for this week for the state of Missouri. We'll start out with the boys in Class 1. South Iron staying at number 1. Medville moving up to number 2. And Drexel moves down 1 ranking to number 3. 4, Glasgow. 5, Fair Play. 6, Eminence. 7, North Andrew. 8, Leopold. 9, Bramer. And 10, Ridgeway. In Class 2, Billings on top still at number 1. 2, West Platte. 3, Canton. 4, Sacred Heart. 5, Gallatin. 6, Holcomb, moving into the rankings this week, up to number 6. 7, Bernie. 8, Iberia. 9, Salisbury. And 10, Crane. In Class 3, Madison Prep on top at number 1. 2, Maplewood Richmond Heights. 3, Charleston. 4, John Burroughs. 5, Higginsville. 6, Fatima. 7, St. James. 8, Clever. 9, Stratford. And 10, Southern Boone. And that poll did not change from the last one, so it's a carbon copy of the last poll in Class 3. In Class 4, Sykeston still on top at number 1. 2, Lafayette out of St. Joseph. 3, Duchesne. 4, Republic. 5, Liberty North. 6, Mexico. 7, Center. 8, Moberly. 9, Westminster Christian. 10, DeSoto. In Class 5, we've got Nixa on top at number 1. They're the new number 1 team in Class 5. 2, Hazelwood Central. 3, Lee Summit West. 4, CBC, Christian Brothers College. They were the number 1 ranked team in the last poll, moved down to number 4. 5, Blue Springs South. 6, Hickman. 7, Desmet. 8, Parkview. 9, Rockhurst. And 10, Ladue. And those are your boys' rankings for the state of Missouri in the top 10 polls for the state. And now to the girls, starting out with Class 1, Walnut Grove at number 1, as they were in the last poll. 2, North Mercer. 3, Wellington Napoleon. 4, Wooblu. 5, Dadeville. 6, North Andrews. 7, Marion County. 8, Camoy. 9, Montrose. And 10, Mound City. In Class 2, Silex at number 1. 2, Archie. 3, Sturgeon. 4, Crocker. 5, Maysville. 6, Sparta. 7, Skyline. 8, Crane. 9, Seymour. And 10, Morrisville. In Class 3, number 1, St. James, 2, Herman, 3, Ash Grove, 4, Trenton, 5, North Callaway, 6, Monroe City, 7, Saxony Lutheran, in there in the top 10 for the past few weeks, 8, Lutheran out of St. Charles, 9, Principia, and 10, Lathrop. In Class 5, at number 1, Class 4, number 1, Incarnate Word, 2, Republic, 3, Sullivan, 4, St. Charles, 5, West Plains, 6, Pleasant Hill, 7, Miller Career, 8, Dexter, 9, Webb City, and 10, Mary Institute of Country Day Schools, MICDS. And Dexter remaining at number 8 as they have for the past few weeks in that top 10 Class 4 poll. In Class 5, St. Joseph's Academy at number 1, 2, Rock Bridge, 3, Truman, 4, Nixa, 5, Ozark, 6, Blue Springs, 7, Ursuline, 8, Nerix Hall, 9, Parkway South, and 10, Parkway North. And those are your state rankings for the state of Missouri in girls basketball as well. And we'll take a break and be back with that interview with Seth McBroom. Had an interview with him a few days ago on the Sports Zone during the week, and we'll play that in just a moment. Don't go away.
I wanna stay connected to you. I like the way you do what you do. Alright, okay, you're fine.
Call Audubell Hearing Center at 1-800-499-8786 or visit one of our locations in Dexter and Poplar Bluff, Missouri today.
With an interactive home security system from New Wave, your family comes home to peace of mind. Now we bring you the future of home security. Arm and disarm your system remotely from your office computer or iPhone. Even look in on family or pets with live video from inside your home. In an emergency, our 24/7 alarm monitoring responds with the help you need. Peace of mind wherever you are. Now available from New Wave Communications.
Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance is celebrating our 100th year. We started protecting rural farmers way back in 1910, ensuring folks no one else would. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance has been a family business for 4 generations, and we continue that tradition today, providing solid home, farm, and commercial insurance at very competitive rates. When the ice storm hit us, we were out there with you. All of our claims were processed within days, and we will continue to provide the best coverage and the best service for the next 100 years. Southeast Missouri Mutual Insurance, a century of service.
And now we're going to take a look at that interview with Seth McBroom, the Holcomb basketball coach, talking about their Bloomfield Christmas Tournament Championship and their season thus far. So let's take a look at that interview. And now we're along with Holcomb basketball coach Seth McBroom, and he's fresh off the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament Championship. And first of all, congratulations, Seth. I know the folks down there at Holcomb got to be quite pleased.
They're pretty happy, there's no doubt.
Sure.
Thanks for mentioning it too.
Yeah. But, you come off the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament as a 6th seed, come into that thing and win it all. And, going into the thing, you could say the top 7 teams could have won that thing, and it just happened to be the case. You were the 6th seed coming into it and beat Kennett in that championship, and not only beat Kennett, but going after their 4th straight title for that Christmas title, denying them and winning it yourself.
Yeah, it was a nice field. I mean, the people from Bloomfield had to be happy because of the field of competition. I mean, just a lot of good games, a lot of fun games to watch, really. So. Still kind of missing my voice a little bit.
The voice is still gone. I tell you, you got to take it to another level for that tournament championship as ruckus as the crowd is.
I'm not a big yeller, but I mean, usually it was, you can't hear anything, and the kids couldn't hardly hear me, so I was trying to yell a bit louder. And then we had 3 or 4 tough games before that one. So, yeah, it's it's just a different atmosphere, different level. So.
Sure. And, you're a newcomer to the tournament. Holcomb is. You've been at this. Was this your 3rd tournament?
3rd tournament.
3rd
yes.
tournament. You got into it a few years ago, and for the first time, and y'all have competed well since y'all got into this. Of course, y'all have had some good teams since then, but
that
you
helps,
competed
yeah.
well. Yeah.
It helps to have pretty good players. There's no doubt, or real good players, really. So
Folks aren't quite used to seeing the Holcomb Hornets in the Bloomfield tournament,
Right.
not only in it but winning it. So that's a big deal for the Holcomb community.
yeah, I mean it's we love being in the tournament, and it's, the kids are so excited about it still. I mean it's almost like a district tournament for us, just because it's that new fresh thing, and it's just they just love it, and it's like you said, just exciting for them, and really just a great tournament. So.
Sure. And a few years ago, I can still remember people saying that, Holcomb, they can't really compete in that thing. It's just kind of out of their
Right.
Competitiveness, I guess you say, playing out of the Tri-County.
Well,
and y'all walk right into it, and a couple of years later, you win the thing.
Yeah, and I think we got sixth both times, first 2 years, and really our kids kind of had to get acclimated to playing a tournament like that where you play 4 nights in a row. It ain't for the weak at heart or whatever, but it's it's something they had to get acclimated to, and even people in the community really didn't know at first if it was the right thing to do, but. Since I played in it when I was a kid, I knew it was the right thing to do, just because if you're in Southeast Missouri, you want to be in that tournament. There's no doubt. So
Sure, it's a great tradition, and to get Holcomb into that tradition, that's
atmosphere is the key word when you
Sure.
think of Bloomfield. So
it sure is, and you had got off to a little rough start the first of the year. You dropped some games and actually avenged some losses that you had earlier in the year in this tournament with Hayti and Bernie, and I guess those early games prepared you for those games in the Christmas tournament.
Right. I mean, we were finding ourselves early, and really didn't like where we were at, just from my personal point of view, watching us play, but really I think after that Hayti loss, it kind of woke a couple kids up, and we had a couple practices there where we were just beating each other up, and it was really, we kind of had some guys that we just kind of all bought into the team thing after we lost that one, because we're not gonna do anything unless it's team oriented, and we're not gonna have success, I should say, unless it's team oriented. And I think we had guys finding their roles and finding what they could and couldn't do early on, because we had some newcomers that didn't see a lot of time last year stepping up and playing big roles for us. And I think just right before the tournament, we kind of got our bearings about us and had our sudden realization of what needed to happen. So
Sure. It seems like y'all just had a tough time putting 4 quarters together. You'd have a good couple quarters, and then maybe the second half wouldn't duplicate the first half, and it seemed like this tournament had all come together at the right time.
Yeah.
Playing your best ball.
Yeah, and we hope that it's not our best ball, and hopefully that if we get content with this, we're going to be in trouble, because just like us and the kids have talked this week, these last 2 practices, we've got new goals now. It's time to, 10 years down the road, y'all can sit back and be happy about the Bloomfield Christmas tournament. Now we got to step on to our next goals and try to win our league conference championship, or try to win our conference games, and then go on to the next goal, whatever it is.
Sure. And speaking of your players, Jamie Massey's the one that gets a lot of the attention, and rightfully so. He's the all-time leading scorer at Holcomb now, and he's got a chance at scoring 2,000 points in his career after this season's done with. And he had a great game, 30 points, and I can't remember how many rebounds.
Yeah,
he just had a heck of a game.
He's just an unbelievable player and teammate, really, and kid. So excellent. Yeah. Excellent to have a kid like that, and just a blessing to coach him, really, and to say you coached a kid like that. But you talk about the 2000, and it's on everybody's mind. But really, he wants to do it, like any kid would. But he also knows that he would rather win and have a shot at that district championship and making a run. So, and that's what's good about him is, he's going to put whatever's needed for the team first, whether that's him scoring a ton or scoring less than normal or whatever. So
yeah,
that's a blessing to coach kids like that. He's not our only kid like that.
Yeah, I think he's one of the most consistent players in Southeast Missouri. I mean, when the Holcomb Hornets play, you know you're going to expect probably around at least 17, 20 points from Jamie Massey, night in and night out. And he's going to stay on the floor. He doesn't foul out. I think it maybe seen him foul out once or twice in his whole 4 years at Holcomb, and he's always on the floor. You know, you can expect Jamie Massey to show up every game.
Well, he's extremely smart, smart player, and people take that for granted. But sometimes even as coaches we take that for granted. But he's extremely smart basketball player.
What I was impressed with in that championship game was your guard play. Those guards you had, Ryan Reeves, Chase Davis, Tyler Lewis, those guys had those Kennett defenders after them all night long, and they withstood it and they fought through it. And their legs had to have been gone by that fourth quarter because they were getting hounded all night long from Kennett.
Well, we do a lot of unfun stuff in practice, and I think they realize now why we do it. And it was 4 games like that, like a lot of 1-on-2 and just pressure stuff where we have to try to simulate pressure, and really it's not fun, and it really is hard, but you do it for reasons like that so you can play in games like that, all 4 of them, Ryan, Lewis, Chase, and Cameron, even they all had the ball in their hands at one time or the other, having to bring it up, and even Michael Glover,
he brought it up a few times,
and really is what I want Michael to do more of, and something he's capable of doing. But it's it's like they all had their turn where they had to do it, especially with Ryan, kind of being injured throughout the game. They really had to step up then, because he's typically our ball handler, but the fact that they were ready to step up when he was in pain, says a lot about them as well. So
sure, and they Kennett defense will get after you, and they forced some turnovers on you, guys.
We still had 20, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't want to do the stats and find out, but I mean I'm sure it was up around 20, and I mean the thing about our kids though that night though, we would turn it over and then we would respond. Composed. We were composed and didn't respond with another turnover. We responded with I got to get this ball down there and set the offense up somehow without turning it over again, or we're going to let Kennett go on a run here. So, and I'm sure Kennett wanted to have more spurts where they had 2 to 3 turnovers, either back to back or one possession after another. But our guard stayed composed, like you said, and kept him from doing that, I guess, in a sense.
Sure. And Kennett was always looking for that run to get out, forcing turnovers, and they might get 2 turnovers and score 2 straight possessions. Y'all come back with an answer, and come back with a little run of your own. So it kind of went back and forth in that matter. Kennett just couldn't ever hit that point to where they could just take it over from that point. You always had an answer.
I mean, really, it was a good game. People need to appreciate the fact that they got to see a good game, and I know, I know Coach Vaughn, it was just killing him, but I mean, just like all the other coaches around, when we lose, it just kills us inside, and but really, the fans need to appreciate the fact that they saw a good game. It'll be blown up into this Holcomb Kennett thing, and really, we need to stay away from that. Yeah, it was just a big win because it was 2 good teams and it was a good game.
Yeah, that's certainly, you got to appreciate, both teams playing well and, putting forth a great game that we probably won't ever forget. I certainly, won't forget that. Holcomb making a run and Kennett, playing well as well. Just, it just comes down to the matchups, and it looked like y'all just had the advantage of the matchup for that night. So,
that night, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that game could go different. We could play it 10 times and it might go different, different kinds of games every time too. It might not even, probably the score will be different every time for sure too, but it might be just totally different kinds of games too. So.
Yeah, and you had a day off before that championship game.
Well, that helped us a lot more than it helped them, I guarantee you that.
So you didn't have to go with the gauntlet 4 straight days, so you had that Sunday in there to take off and prepare a little bit, and that helps.
It helps. It's just a circumstance, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from our kids. There's no doubt, but I mean, it did help us prepare, have a day to prepare, and practice.
Sure. So
definitely helped. That's one thing that's hard about a tournament. You never really have time to prepare. We would, even Hayti game, we knew kind of how we wanted to approach it because we played them already, but still, just having 12 hours to prepare, and then still trying to find some time to sleep is, that's what makes those tournaments tough, So.
Yeah, especially a long one, 16-team tournament like that. Those are tough to deal with. But going forward, certainly the momentum you want going into this, last stretch. I guess we still got 2 whole months left of the season. It seems like the season's almost over now, but still we got 2 whole months left. So, it's certainly the momentum you want going into this stretch. So. And that Class 2, you certainly got your work cut out ahead of you with that Class 2 district.
Well, that ain't,
That's all you got to say about it.
That's all you can say is it's just stupid, just crazy stupid how good those teams are going to be and how good they'll be at the end of the year. I mean, it's just going to be
you just sigh about it, huh?
I mean, it's going to be fun.
What's in front of you?
Just get you $2 and come up, or $5, whatever it costs.
Yeah, it's going to be up here in Bloomfield this year, so
you
kind of work that magic.
Basically, that bottom half of our bracket was, those Class 2 teams, and then you throw South PM and even Bloomfield and Zenith. And you can't discount anybody in that tournament, all the way through to 7, 8, 9, all 9 of them really. So
So it'll be fun to watch, and of course you got conference play to concentrate on there in the Tri-County, and going to be getting into that schedule, and some teams in there that can.
I mean, it ain't going to be it ain't going to be nothing easy. They're going to want to slap us in the face every game. So you got a
little bit more motivation to come out and play the Hornets now. So.
That's all we needed, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's all you needed.
So. I mean, that's like you said. We love the fact that we got a little momentum going into the second half of the season, and. Hopefully it keeps our crowds coming, and our kids just have to stay focused, and remember to do what we have to do. Everybody and their brother is going to want to tell them, how awesome they are, and you need to be doing this, and you need to be doing that. They just got to stay focused on what the team needs and what we have to do. So, see how that goes.
All right, we'll be looking forward to the rest of the year for the Hornets, and a great moment for the Holcomb community and the Holcomb school. I know it's a frenzy there. I tell you, y'all really turned out to the city of Holcomb that night. They really turned out, and it seems like ever since y'all been in that thing, y'all have turned out a good crowd and had a good following there in the tournament. So it just goes to say how faithful the Holcomb fans are, and probably will be for the remainder of the year, especially coming off this tournament. So.
Well, I know the kids appreciate it, and I want to say thank you to the community as well. I mean, like you said, it was just purple all throughout the gym, and gotta love that purple,
Yeah, sticks out.
It's there, baby. So I mean, it was a beautiful sight, really, once we got there to see all that purple. So, and I know the people at Bloomfield like it, the crowd, the money that brings in. So,
sure. All right. Well, we appreciate you stopping by today and talking with us about the tournament. The rest of your season, we'll be looking forward to seeing how the season plays out for the Holcomb Hornets.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate what you guys do. 6 years ago when I came back home from Southwest, one of the first things I noticed is our kids around here didn't get the kind of exposure and coverage they needed, and now you guys have changed a lot of that, and you guys need to be commended for what you're doing. So, and also before I get off, just send out a thank you to our crowd again and our community, my administration, the other coaches at the school, and the teachers. They're very supportive of the kids as well. Say hi to my wife and the girls. They'll be watching Saturday morning.
Yeah, just got a newborn.
And Lila and Marcy, 2-year-old, are going to be 2 a couple days. And,
she was quite an attraction of the tournament as well. That photo that we put out there, that was great.
She's just now, me and you, we're more radio guys, but she's so pretty, she needs to be on TV.
Right.
So
yeah, it worked well.
I'll fight anybody that disagrees. But no, and then just a big thank you to everybody that has helped me and been a process or part of the process. And I was talking to a guy that on the way over here before that we might not be remembered, but Mr. Bullock, he's a coach at Portersville now, and shouted out to us when he was on here. You know, we need to shout out to him and remember that, you know, he was part of this process as well. And yeah, you know, big thank you to him because he hired me. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, I was 22 and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and you know, he hired me and, you know, really kind of took the job, you know, kind of off what some things he was telling me, and really he was a big factor, and really the job has been a blessing to me and my wife and the girls to be at a place that I really enjoy working at, you know. So, you know, he had to, you know, flip the coin and hire me that day. So, I mean, it was, you know, it's been a blessing. I wanted to give a little shout out to him. I was talking to him on the way over, so I don't get to talk to him as much as I used to. So
yeah, we like it with Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun.
Had
man.
a great year in
Fun.
Portageville, and
yeah. He didn't think I'd say that.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to say it.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how the season plays out. Again, we appreciate you coming over and talking with us, and good luck to the Holcomb Hornets going forward.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. And you saw there Seth McBroom, very pleased coming off that Bloomfield Christmas Tournament title, and the community down there in Holcomb, they turned out in droves for that Bloomfield Christmas Tournament championship, and should be proud of their team, and they'll be looking forward to completing a fine season there in Holcomb this year. So congratulations to Seth McBroom and the Holcomb Hornets for the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament title this year. And now we're going to take a look at a video with the post-game conference with Dickie Nutt, coach of the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks. They've got off to a pretty good start in OVC play. They got a close win over Austin P a few nights ago. So we'll take a look at that post-game conference with Dickie Nutt.
They showed a lot of heart tonight. With 4 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, I just looked at my staff and I just said, I guess we're just going to have to outscore them because we certainly can't stop them. They are a very explosive team. This was a quality win for us. But I'm going to tell you, I'm most pleased with our guard play tonight. The last game, after the game and studying and evaluating our team and tape and everything else, I just told us that I told our team that we cannot allow to be pushed around on the inside. We can't just be inside dominant. We've got to have guard play. I think it started with Marlon. It ended with AJ. And as always, Lucas was really, really good handling the ball. And I told you, I felt like that our team showed great heart tonight. When Lucas was stripped from behind, and that was a terrible, terrible turnover, but he put it in his mind that he was going to go get that ball back, and he did. And he went in head first, and I'll tell you, that was a good play right there. I thought Jared White came in and gave us some good minutes off the bench, gave us some toughness. But I thought Nino, late in the game, did some good job, did some good things. Even though he didn't block some shots, he altered a couple shots. But I tell you, you can't say enough about our guard play tonight. I think 41 points from the guards tonight. But at the end of the day, you hit free throws at the end to win a game, and that's what proved to be a good win for us.
I mean, without Tyler, I mean, he's been your go-to guy. I mean, it didn't look good when he fouled out. You down, I think, we're down 4 or 5.
Well, he got his fourth. He got his fourth real quick. We tried to hold him. I thought the game was slipping on us a little bit, so I felt like we had to put him in at the 10-minute mark. And he got his fifth one immediately. But what it did was it strengthened everybody else up because the guards didn't want to let anybody down, and especially Tyler, because Tyler's over there in tears because he doesn't get to play. That's the kind of guy he is. When he doesn't get to play, he's crying. But our guards really rallied together, played together. They shared that ball. They hit open shots. They really did some good things late in the game to preserve that win. And again, we outscored them. We can't say a whole lot defensively because they just kind of did what they wanted to do. But they're a good team. I hate to say it. Their record doesn't look like it. But they're a good team, and it's a good win for us. And hey, we'll enjoy this one.
AJ really picked it up. He hadn't been scoring much.
I brought him out of the game real quick. It's 2 minutes into the second half, and I set him down. I said, AJ, I'm just about done with you. Your focus is not good enough. Your intensity is not good enough. You're running around out there like an old man. You either got to get it together or not. Well, fortunately for him, Tyler went down with 5 fouls, he had to play because he's my next experienced guy. Jacob did some good things, but, AJ's just older. And so AJ had to be inserted into the game, and he really made the most of it. He made some good baskets, getting to the basket. I thought he hit his free throws well, and he hit a big three. That was a difference in the game, I thought.
And Corey's been scoring pretty consistently for you. He kept that up tonight.
He did, and he hadn't been himself in the last couple of games. He played fairly well before Christmas, but he didn't do so much against Martin. And then in practice, he hadn't been doing as well. But I thought tonight he really showed some toughness tonight. He had some good shots, big shots getting to the basket. But better than that, defended a little bit better. And he got his enthusiasm back up a little bit. It's funny how that works. You have some enthusiasm. That helps you. That helps your game. That helps your teammates. You can't live without it. We certainly can't. And Corey did a good job for us.
And as you see there, Dickie Nutt very pleased with the win of the night against Austin Peay. And they're currently 10-6 on the year. They've got a tough one today, though, against Murray State. And, of course, Murray State coming off that fine season last year, flirted with an undefeated season. They come back with a strong team this year. They're 10-3 so far this year, so a tough test for the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks today against Murray State. That game will be on ESPNU tonight at 5 o'clock. Let me make sure that's right. It'll be Saturday. That's today at 5 o'clock. Make sure that that's right. And it will be 5 o'clock. It might be 5 Eastern, though. Either way, right around 5 o'clock. It is at SEMO. It is at Cape Girardeau for that contest tonight. So if you're not going to be around to go up there and watch it, it'll be on ESPNU tonight with that game with Murray State. So look forward to that today as well. And now we'll touch on some games upcoming here on YHC Channel 21 and SemoSportsZone.com. Our next game will be Tuesday, January 8th. We'll be at Dexter, and that'll be live. Bloomfield and Dexter. Nice Stoddard County matchup. Should be a good one. Tuesday night here in Dexter. Be sure to watch that on Channel 21 as well as SemoSportsZone.com. Thursday, the 10th, we've got girls game, Malden at Kennett. That'll be live Thursday night from Kennett. Friday night, we'll have Dexter and Bernie. That one will be live from Bernie Friday night. We should be able to do that one on TV and internet, so be sure to watch that on Channel 21 as well as SemoSportsZone.com. Saturday, the 12th. Next Saturday, we'll have the Malden JV Tournament Finals. We do that each year. JV tournament they've got down there. Really good tournament there in Malden. We'll have the tournament final Saturday afternoon. That will be live here on on SemoSportsZone.com. We're not really sure about TV at this point. Tuesday the 15th, we've got South Pemiscot at Kennett. South Pemiscot at Kennett. That should be live Tuesday the 15th. Friday, January 18th, Holcomb at Risco. We'll be live on Channel 21 and SemoSportsZone.com. Nice Tri-County Conference matchup there between those two teams. Been a great rivalry going back the past few years. Monday, the 21st, we've got Portageville at Gideon. Not sure about how we're going to be able to put that one live or not. Tuesday, the 22nd, Risco at Gideon. 2 straight nights there in Gideon for high school basketball. So look forward to those upcoming games here on YHC Channel 21 as well as SemoSportsZone.com. And let's take a look at some college football games taking place here in the next week. And we got a game today, a college football bowl game. The BBVA Compass Bowl, that's between Pittsburgh and Ole Miss. That'll be today. The GoDaddy.com Bowl, that's 25th ranked Kent State taking on the Arkansas State Red Wolves, playing in their second straight GoDaddy.com Bowl. That will be tomorrow on Sunday. And the BCS Championship will take place on Monday night. That's top-ranked Notre Dame taking on second-ranked Alabama for the national championship. So be looking forward to that game Monday night, Notre Dame and Alabama. And the NFL playoffs take place today, Saturday, going through this weekend through Sunday. with the wild card games, and the wild card game for today in the AFC, sixth seeded the Bengals taking on third seeded Texans. That's at Houston, and that'll take place today at 3:30 on Saturday. And the Texans will have the home field in this game. The Texans just last week had home field advantage and had it pretty much locked up for the past few weeks, but a couple losses here in the last few weeks left open the door for the Broncos to sneak in there with the top seed, and the Patriots surpassed the Texans as well with the number 2 seed. So the Broncos-Patriots have first week byes, having the top 2 seeds, and they will await the winners of the wild card round of the AFC playoffs. And also tomorrow, Sunday, also in the AFC wild card, the 5th seeded Colts take on the 4th seeded Ravens, and that will take place in Baltimore at noon on Sunday. And this got quite a story coming into this game. Of course, the Colts coming back from having the number 1 overall pick, being the worst team in the league, coming in as the 5th best team in the AFC. And what a run they've had. Of course, Chuck Pagano, their head coach, diagnosed with leukemia earlier in the year, without him for most of the season. And now he's back on the sideline in a big win over the Texans last week. And, of course, Andrew Luck being the big story there in Indianapolis, rookie quarterback leading them to the playoffs, having a fine season, probably going to be the rookie of the year this year. And they're looking for a road playoff win against the Ravens, and they've got a lot to play for as well, having Ray Lewis announcing that he will retire after this season from the Baltimore Ravens after 17 seasons. So you can imagine the emotions going on there in Baltimore, trying to keep Ray Lewis's career alive with the Ravens, and they'll try to do so tomorrow afternoon against the Indianapolis Colts. And also in the NFC, the wild card, that'll be later on tonight at 7 o'clock Saturday. It's the 6th-seeded Vikings that snuck into the playoffs with a Week 17 win over the Packers. They will turn around and go back to Green Bay. They hosted the Packers last week in Week 17. Now they'll go to Lambeau Field in Green Bay to take on the Packers, who secured the 3rd seed. And that game will take place at 7 o'clock tonight. And tomorrow afternoon, Sunday at 3:30, it'll be the 5th-seeded Seattle Seahawks taking on the 4th-seeded Washington Redskins. And what a matchup that'll be. 2 rookie quarterbacks going head-to-head. That's Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks and Robert Griffin III of the Washington Redskins. And those are 2 great quarterbacks to watch. They kind of mimic each other, the way they run that quarterback position, run that spread option. You know, they either fake it and run it or even drop back to pass. Very efficient quarterbacks, especially for rookies this year. And 2 great quarterbacks that'll be going at it tomorrow afternoon. And don't see that quite often in the playoffs. 2 rookie quarterbacks going head-to-head, and we'll see it this year between those 2 teams in the wild card. And Seattle's looking really good right now. They've got probably one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the league. And with that offense, as efficient as they've been, taking control of the ball, moving the chains, and Russell Wilson making things happen. They're a team to look out for in this year's playoffs. And the Washington Redskins coming off a big win last week against the Dallas Cowboys. That running back they've got, Alfred Morris, he's a rookie running back, along with the quarterback Robert Griffin III. A great duo there between those 2. And they're coming along quite nicely as well, the Washington Redskins. So it'll be a great game to watch between those 2 teams tomorrow afternoon. And the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons secured the top seed there in the NFC, and the San Francisco 49ers have the 2 seed. So those are the top 2 teams with the byes in the NFC this year. So great playoffs to look forward to this year. It's been great the whole season. Great storylines from rookies being, playing at the level that they're playing at. Plus, Peyton Manning coming back with the Broncos, leading them to the top seed in the AFC, a 13-3 record. Just storylines across the board this year in the NFL. Should be fun to watch starting this weekend with the NFL playoffs. And that's pretty much all we have for you today. And we look forward to having you back next week here Saturday at 10 a.m. on the Sports Roundtable. And we've got plenty of games coming up here on the schedule, so look forward to those upcoming this week and throughout the remainder of the year. And we'll wrap it up for today. And until next week, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a good one.